Hello, goddesses. How you doing? How are you all doing? Look, let me tell you what I hope. I hope your day is beautiful. I hope your day is magnificent. I hope your day is spectacular, glorious, phenomenal, amazing, even in the midst of all that is going on around us right now. I'm hoping and I'm sending out love and light and goodness that your day, that you have still in this day found something to be grateful for, something to bring joy into your life, something to bring joy into your spirit, honey. I am hoping and sending out in this day that just goodness flows into your life, even in the midst of all this going on. So how y'all doing today? Look. Y'all like my shirt? Look, I got this shirt when I could go out, when we could still go outside. I got it from right in front of the African American History Museum. Bought me this shirt. And I said, I'm feeling all the Afro going on today. So I said, I'm going to wear my little shirt, give myself a little boost in the midst of all this going on with George Floyd and all of the other things that are going on. The riots, the protests. I mean, it's just a lot going on around us, goddesses. We're still in the midst of a pandemic. And it's like, how do you find your peace? How do you keep your peace in the midst of all this? And we've been talking about peace in the pandemic, but now it's even gone up to another level, right? So now it's like, how do I stay grounded with all this going on? And so this is how I'm staying grounded. This is how I'm taking care of my soul. This is how I am making sure that my heart doesn't get totally beat up in this process, making sure that my spirit can stay light. Because look, let me tell you something, goddesses. Let me just say this. When we are our best selves, when we are taking care of ourselves, when we are doing what's in our highest and best good, like that's what's happening, we're doing that. Look, we are better for everybody else. We're better for everyone else. We can be a better mother, a better sister, a better everything when we are taking care of ourselves. And when we're doing the things that help us to stay grounded and to stay centered and to stay focused, right? And so I'm going to be honest and be very transparent. The first few weeks of the pandemic and, stay-at-home orders were very, very difficult for me. And I really had to do a lot of work to see, what was going to help me to stay in a good headspace. It was going to help me to process this time. And this is one of the things that I always did. I always did this. It wasn't anything new, but I've taken it up a notch with everything that's going on. And what I found is with all of the added intensity of the last few weeks and the last week and a half in particular, this process has allowed me to stay in a healthy headspace. And I wanted to share that with you. So I'm just going to go on and dive in, honey. I'm sipping my tea here. Look. See what that says? Just be a unicorn, honey. Sometimes you got to be a unicorn. So let me get on my glasses. Because today I didn't write out my notes. Today I woke up this morning with this on my mind. And I said, I'm going to talk about this. So I grabbed my phone while the ideas were still fresh and typed them in my phone. So then I emailed them to myself. So today we got this. So with all this going on, there's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of cars driving by. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of fear. Just in the air there is. And so the first thing you want to look at when you find yourself feeling anxious, when you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, when you find yourself feeling like worrying and there's no immediate answer, so you don't know exactly what to do, and so the worry just builds and builds and builds, and you're looking at your son, you're looking at your husband, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling afraid, and you don't know, like, what do I do with that? And then the TV's on and there are riots and things are burning. You're like, what do I do with that? Well, the first thing is to acknowledge that I'm afraid or I'm worried or something is going on. So that's number one. Stop and ask yourself, like, what is going on here? I am afraid. I am worried. I feel overwhelmed. That's the first thing, because when we name what's going on, we can do part two of the part one. And that is, okay, if I'm worried, we can get trapped in what I'm worried about. We don't want to go there, baby. We don't want to get all stuck in that. What we want to do is we want to move that over to, so what do I want? So like I'm worried about, let's use an example. I'm worried about someone I love, right? I'm worried about someone I love maybe being hurt. And let me just say something here. I know sometimes we have our concerns and things, but just be mindful of the energy you put out. Be mindful of the things you talk about. Because what we feed grows. And so I'm in the habit. I can't tell nobody else what to do, baby, because, that's your life, right, sugar? But what I will say I practice in my life is I try not to put too much energy on anything I don't want to manifest, right? If I don't want it to manifest, I try not to give it too much energy, because giving it energy feeds it, and it feeds the feelings of anxiety. And so to stop and say, okay, I'm afraid. I'm afraid that someone I love may be hurt. I'm afraid that someone that I love may not be treated fairly, right? And so we're going to look at that. Now, what do I want? I want this person to be safe. I want them to be treated well. I want this person to anyone that this person encounters that I love, whether it's my husband, my son, whoever it is, I want the people they encounter to treat them with compassion, to treat them with love, right? Because see, now you see how we're shifting from worry, honey. We're shifting from all this like, oh no, I'm worried, I'm scared, to what we can actually do something about. This is what I want, okay? So I go from scared to I want for this person, my son, to be safe in this world. I want my son to be surrounded by people who are compassionate. I want my son to feel loved and to have protection around him everywhere he goes, that he is treated fairly by the people he encounters. You see how we're now pouring that energy into what we want? And that automatically shifts things, right? We automatically come from this place of anxiety and fear to now we're moving into what I want, like what I really want for my son, what I really want for my husband in this climate, right? And you see how I didn't give too much energy to what I was afraid of. Y'all notice that, right? Now, when I'm talking about what I want, that's where the power goes, and not into what I'm afraid of, okay? So now that's step one. So we've gotten clear on what we're afraid of. And look, being afraid, being anxious, being worried is not a bad thing, baby. The problem is when we get stuck there and start getting stuck in that loop and start making our choices from fear and anxiety. So now we're moving on to what I want. So I want, when my son goes out into this world, for him to be seen as a person first. I want him to be safe. I want him to encounter people who are compassionate, who are fair, who are balanced. See, oh, that's good. So that's what I want. Now we're going to move to step two. So then once we get clear on what we want for the person or ourselves or our home, then you set that intention, right? Now what you want to do is you want to either, and you can do this many, 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 many ways, goddesses. You can create a mantra of your own. You can say, all is well, all is well, all is well. Honey, you can get a Bible verse. You can get a verse out of the Quran, honey, the Kabbalah. Honey, look, you can go to Buddha. You can go to Rumi. Wherever you go, you can sing a song. Everything's gonna be all right. Hey, everything's y'all like my. I did that, didn't I? You know I can sing. Anywho, in the shower I'm fabulous. But coming back, so you could find a mantra, something that supports what you want to manifest, right? What you want to manifest in this person's life or in your own life, right? So now you've gotten clear on what you want for them. And you've also gotten clear on a Bible verse, a quote. It could be a quote. It's just something that you connect to that makes you feel empowered and makes you feel connected to what you want. Now, here's the third part. Here's the kicker. This is the good. This is what's really, where the magic happens, honey. Then you get a candle. Now, let me tell you something about candles. There's a reason we do candlelight vigils. There's a reason why they have, in some churches, you can go in and light a candle for someone, right? There's a reason for all of that, because candles carry an energy. Just like when you light a candle when you want to relax in the tub, there's a reason. I mean, look, we don't need candles anymore, goddesses. What we need a candle for? We gotta have electricity. Why on earth do we need a candle? You can even go and buy an artificial candle, but somehow, that don't do it. Does it? You want to light that candle, right? So Candles carry their own connection. Human beings, we just have that connection to a candle and to fire. And so what you do is you get you a candle. Now look, it could be a candle from the Dollar Tree, honey. It could be a candle from, it could be a 7-day candle, glass candle. It could be a pillar candle. Now, of course, fire safety, honey. Fire safety, okay? Be safe with your candle, okay? If you're going to use a pillar or a candle that's not encased in glass, make sure that you're being extra safe. But what you want to do, darling, is you're going to get yourself a candle, okay? And you are going to take that candle and hold it in your hands. Now, let me tell you why this is important. Why this is so important, goddesses. Because this now gives us a place to put that energy. So instead of holding the fear in our heart, we've transmuted that fear to high vibrational, loving intentions for someone that we love or ourselves or our situation. We found a quote, a scripture, a song, or something that goes with it. And now we got our candle, okay? So we're going to hold this candle in our hands. I wish I would have got a candle. Do I have a candle around here somewhere? Okay, I got a candle. Hold on one second. I'll be right back, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. I'm back. So now this candle is a little big, but it's a candle, right? So we would take this candle here, like so. You see that? Like so. Oh, it smells good too. It smells good. So we would take this candle and we would hold it against our heart, and we would think about this person that we love so dearly that we want to be saved. And we would think about all of the things that we want for this person. And as we're thinking about it, we just imagine this energy flowing into this candle, right? And we think of, how safe we want them to be, how we want them to be protected, how we want them to be surrounded in a beautiful light of protection. Or you can picture them in the bosom of the Father God, wherever, however you feel connected to protection and to your divine source, you envision that, right? Let me get my glasses on so I can make sure I'm giving y'all the whole story, because I don't want to leave anything out. Okay, so you would pray over your candle, use your mantra, use your scripture. Maybe you just hold your candle and say, everything's gonna be all right. Everything. Maybe that's how you do it, honey. I can't tell you how to do it. I can just tell you to do it in a way that feels good and authentic to you, that resonates with your heart. Envision wonderful things. So envision situations going peacefully. Envision how you want this situation or how you want this person to be protected. See them in their light. In that light, you're going to send a prayer of protection, love, healing, peace. Pour all of that energy into this candle, honey. Pour it in there. Just see it filling up with this goodness. And then when you get ready, light your candle, right? Light your candle. Now, you think you're done, but you're not. Let me tell you how powerful this is, because this is the power of the mind to shift our minds to a place of manifesting and sending out goodness out into the world, particularly to those that we love and that we care about. So now we prayed over this candle. We've set the intention. We've set our mantra. Maybe you meditate with your candle, honey. Maybe you go and sit in the grass with your candle. That's how you connect. However you do it, baby, that's what you do, right? And now, when all of that's done, you light this candle. And I'm not going to light the candle because I ain't got nothing to light it with. And I really haven't done that whole thing with this candle. It's just an example. You light the candle, and then what you do is you decide, once you light this candle, how you want to do this candle. So how you want to burn this candle. So let's say maybe you light the candle every morning and say a prayer for, this is my morning prayer of protection or love or light or whatever you send out in the world. Maybe you light your candle and let it burn all day. However you burn your candle, but let it serve as a touch point. And the reason that this is so important and the reason that it is so powerful, I promise you, look, goddesses, try it and then comment, honey. Try it. When this video wraps, find you a candle, honey. Even if it's from the Dollar Tree, look, if it's this big, it'd be a tea light, honey. Find you a candle. Set some good intentions for someone you care about, and go through these steps we just went through and light that candle. Well, maybe bigger than the tea light, but if a tea light's all you got, that's what you work with. So why does this work so powerfully? Well, first of all, I'm going to move my candle over here for a second. I got my notes. I'm going to make sure I get everything right. Okay, so like I said earlier, it's a touch point. So when we light this candle and we see this flame, we remember the prayer. We remember that we released it. So it is a touch point that we can stop at every day and send good energy out. You know, sometimes I'll do a candle for healing in the world. Sometimes I'll do a candle for peace in the world. If I find myself feeling overwhelmed by it and I'm feeling like there's nothing I can do, what can I do? How can I make a change in the world? How can I make a change? This whole thing is all so big. How do I make a difference? Sometimes this is exactly how I do it. And it allows me to free my heart, free my mind, and then to actively remind myself every day. Send prayers, send good energy, send that out, sugar, to the world, right? So that's one thing that it does. It serves as a reminder to do that. Okay, the next thing it does, oh, well, that's it. I broke them down to 3 points, but really here I done wrote it all. Okay. And so also the last part of it that is beautiful is that it is a gentle reminder to ourselves that we have already put that anxiety down. So what I use my candles for too is if I have sat down, done the work, got clear on what I want to release, got clear on what I want to let go of, and then I find myself worrying about it again, I go to my candle and I remind myself gently, sweetheart, darling, crystal, baby girl, you have already let that go. You have already released that. You've already sent out good energy. And here's just a little thing. Sometimes I'll even write out a prayer. Sometimes I'll write out a prayer and fold that prayer up and put it under my candle. So when I feel those moments where the anxiety comes or I see a video clip and I find myself escalating again, honey, I go to my candle and I pray, or I go to my candle and I read my prayer that I wrote, or I read my words of encouragement that I wrote. Sometimes it's words of encouragement. This is not about any religious or, way of doing things. This is about a way of dealing with our emotions and our minds and our spirit when we're hurting, so that we can find a way to release those energies that are clogging us up with worry and doubt and creating anxiety and creating a space where we're dealing with the people that we love from a place of anxiety and a place of fear. So yes, we get afraid. Yes, we feel afraid. Yes, we get worried, overwhelmed, anxious. All of that is real talk. All of that is the truth. Okay. And beautiful goddesses, we don't have to sit there and feel helpless in it. We can choose to shift our mindsets. And what I find with working with candles, I need to sip my tea, honey, on that. My throat got a little dry. What I find in working with candles is it serves as a visual. And a visual is a powerful thing, especially when you have set the intentions. Because once we set the intentions, and let me tell you something that's beautiful about our minds. When we envision something in our mind, sugar, let me tell you something, honey. The mind doesn't know if it's real or not. So when we envision peace and we envision goodness, then we're able to begin to let it go. And so when you envision that in conjunction with a candle, it serves as a physical reminder. And then here's a sidebar that helps me. It may help you. It also helps me that a candle burns. And when it burns, I can see that flame burning up my fears, burning up my insecurities, and sending my intention out. Right? So, that helps me. It may not help you, so use it or don't. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying that does indeed help me to process. So look, as we go through these times, know that we don't always have control over what goes on in the world, goddesses. But let me tell you something. We do have control over what we respond to. And we do have control over how we choose to continue to respond. Sometimes our response is knee-jerk and you just feel it and you can't help it. But sometimes we have to actively choose to shift our focus, shift our mindset, shift the way that we are looking at the world so that we can step into a sense of peace. And let me tell you something. Peace makes it way more powerful. When we're peaceful, we're more powerful in our clarity. We're more powerful in our ability to focus our energy where we want it to go. We are much more effective for change when we have peace inside. Even if what we're changing needs aggression or needs force. When we have the peace inside and chaos isn't ruling us inside, then even when we have to use force to make those choices. I mean, like you think sometimes like back, I don't know if y'all used to watch back in the day, karate movies, and they would have so much inner peace, but outer force, right? And that's what we're kind of shooting for, like your calm inside. We're not acting on emotion. We're acting on what's in our highest good and in the highest good of those around us and those that we love. Well, all right, goddesses. That's it. That's all, honey. That's it and that's all. So look, you go on here, leave here, gonna have you a fabulous day. Look, grab you a candle and then comment below. Let me know how it helps, because I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna be amazed. You're gonna be amazed. Well, all right, sugars, that's it. That's all. And how do we do things? We do all things goddessy. All right, gorgeous. Gorgeous says, I will see y'all next week. Bye-bye.